Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check the video out. I really appreciate the support, and I appreciate all the support you guys have shown the channel over the year. I will probably say that more than a couple of times over the next week or so, but I just want to make it known that I am certainly very appreciative of it, and none of it goes unnoticed. But today we have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and discuss. So before we get into it, be sure to hit the like button to help the video out and show it your support. And if you are new here to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. The first topic we're covering once again focuses on Horizon Forbidden West. I noticed that I'm talking about this game more and more, and I'm enjoying this because this is a game I'm very much excited about, and we are just getting more information seemingly each week. This time we're learning more about the crazy looking enemy known as the Slitherfang. This is the snake-like enemy that we've seen multiple times now in different trailers. And this is reading from PlayStation Lifestyle. They say Guerrilla Games has offered Game Informer an exclusive look at Aloy going head-to-head with the terrifying, acid-spitting Slitherfang boss in Horizon Forbidden West. We got a close look at the machine 2 weeks ago, but this time we have more details about its attacks. Slitherfang's long-range acid attacks are generated in a tank conveniently located near its throat, and it would behoove players to destroy that tank as soon as possible. Alongside the acid attacks, the snake's tail shoots lightning bolts, and its neck fires sonic pulses that not only deafen Aloy for a short time, they also incapacitate her, leaving her vulnerable to follow-up attacks. Game director Matthias de Jong told Game Informer that the sonic pulse attack is hard to dodge, and that players will either need to find cover quickly or get out of the attack's range when the Slitherfang charges it up. Interestingly, Aloy's stealth attacks are not effective against the machine, and its attack pattern changes according to its health status. The snake has a whole heap of attacks, de Jong teased, so what you're watching in the aforementioned battle clip is just a tiny glimpse of what Slitherfang is capable of. That said, Aloy will have enough skills, attacks, and weapons at her disposal to take Slitherfang down, provided she's smart about it. The snake is vulnerable to fire, ice, and plasma attacks. So that is all the new information we have on the Slitherfang, and honestly, I'm probably going to forget all of this, or at least most of it, going into this game. I'm likely just going to be overwhelmed when I first encounter this enemy, because I have to say that the Slitherfang is one of the most intimidating but also impressive looking enemy designs I've ever seen. It's going to be hard to not admire this thing and just kind of stare at it when I encounter it for the first time when playing Horizon. But I'm also going to be pretty sure that I'm going to, likely fail at least more than a couple of times trying to take down this thing for the first time. But that's what makes the game so fun. So yeah, this thing sounds like it's going to be a formidable opponent and certainly a difficult machine to take down, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So you guys can let me know your thoughts about that down in the comments below. We are moving on to talk about Final Fantasy 16. We have our first update in quite some time, and it may not be the update that you guys were hoping for, but still important to go over nonetheless, and we will have something to kind of go off of here. So this is reading from PlayStation Universe, where they say, for those left puzzled by the absence of any Final Fantasy 16 news at the most recent State of Play, producer Naoki Yoshida has taken to the game's official Twitter page to relay an update on where development stands with the much anticipated entry. It is an unfortunate reality nowadays. Yoshida confirmed that development has been impacted by up to half a year due to everything that has still been going on. And so here is what the official message reads. Greetings everyone. When last we spoke, I promised I would have more information on Final Fantasy 16 sometime later in 2021. However, I regret to inform you that I will be unable to keep that promise, as complications stemming from the ongoing CV have delayed the game's development by almost half a year. As the latest addition to the Final Fantasy series being developed for the PlayStation 5, Final Fantasy 16 has amassed a sizable team composed of talented creators from around the world. However, in an effort to offset the effects of CV, we've had to decentralize that workforce by permitting staff to tackle their assignments from home. This has unfortunately hampered communication from the Tokyo office, which in turn has led to delays in, or in extreme cases, cancellations of asset deliveries from our outsourced partners. That said, we have spent much of 2020 2021 addressing this issue and hope to see its impact to a minimum by the new year, allowing us to better focus on the tasks at hand, increasing graphic resource quality, refining combat mechanics, fleshing out individual battles, putting the finishing touches on cutscenes, and conducting overall graphical optimization. Our primary goal is to be as hands-on with the game as possible in order to see it fully polished. So that leaves us with the question, when can we expect the next round of information? Well, I'm happy to announce the current plan is to conduct our next big reveal in spring of 2022 as we seek to build excitement leading up to the game's eventual release. I deeply apologize to all those who have been looking forward to learning more about Final Fantasy XVI, and thank you for your continued patience while we focus our combined efforts on development. So that's the entire message from the producer, and I have to say, it's certainly a welcome one. They make it pretty clear here what's going on, why they have to delay new information on this game, and I don't think anybody has a problem with this. I don't think anybody at this point in time was really expecting to learn anything new about Final Fantasy XVI this year, and it is nice that they are giving us a new time frame, which is going to be spring 2022. This does make you wonder if maybe there will be some type of Sony event where this is where they're going to present this new information. It's hard to say, but nonetheless, if you are somebody who is looking forward to Final Fantasy XVI, which I think many of you are, that's when you can expect new information. I have to assume that between now and then, they're going to be working incredibly hard to make sure that they are ready to be able to show more. And you have to imagine that considering how long it's been, they're going to have quite a bit to show. So make sure you leave your thoughts down in the comments below, what you think about this message from the Final Fantasy XVI development team. But we're now moving on to the next topic, which talks about the Ghost of Tsushima movie that is currently in development. I think some of you may have forgotten about this. I think this is one of those things that's easy to forget about because it was announced, people were excited about it, but then we haven't really heard anything about it since. We now have our first update on this movie. So this is reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, where they say Ghost of Tsushima live action movie adaptation director Chad Stahelski says that the production team is focused on doing it right, referencing other poorly received adaptations of video game franchises. Stahelski states that they are working closely with the game's developers to stick to what's great about Ghost of Tsushima. Stahelski appeared in an interview on the red carpet on the release day of The Matrix Resurrections. During the interview, Stahelski revealed that the studio was currently working out the movie's script. When asked if Daisuke Tsuji, the actor who played Jin in Ghost of Tsushima, would reprise his role in the movie, the director stated that it wasn't exactly set in stone. Movie adaptations of video games aren't always a recipe for success. Numerous examples over the years have proven that translating the source material to the silver screen can be quite the task. However, Stahelski believes that with the proper care and the cooperation of the developers at Sucker Punch, it's definitely possible. And so here's exactly what he said. You know how video game adaptations can go, so we're taking our time and doing it right. We're working very closely with the game developers to make sure we stick to what's great about it. And that's pretty much what he had to say. Now, for those who are not aware, Chad Stahelski is a prominent director who has previously directed the John Wick series of movies. He also served as Keanu Reeves' stunt double in The Matrix, as well as a stunt coordinator on other Matrix movies and 300. So there's no doubt that I think we're feeling confident that this Ghost of Tsushima movie will nail the action sequences. But I find it interesting that he kind of dodged the question here as to whether or not the actor who played Jin in Ghost of Tsushima, is he going to play Jin in the movie? Well, we have to assume that Jin is going to be the main character of the Ghost of Tsushima movie. It would make sense to do that. I couldn't really see it any other way. And frankly, it would make complete sense to bring in the actor who played Jin because his likeness was used. So when you look at Jin Sakai in the game, that's exactly what the actor looks like and sounds like. And so it would be really strange to me if they decided to not do that. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. He proved that I don't want to say that he can play Jin, he is Jin. Like, that's the point. And he's an actor. So there's really no reason, that they wouldn't be able to do that. And frankly, I think that if there's one thing that could make this movie kind of be deemed as an instant failure is if they end up bringing in somebody that doesn't look like Jin Sakai and doesn't sound like Jin Sakai, but we're supposed to believe that's Jin Sakai, knowing that the actual actor is literally Jin Sakai. So You know, I hope the only reason they're dodging that question right now is simply because they haven't really gotten that far, but I mean, it would be pretty strange to me if that's the direction they end up going in. But nonetheless, they sound pretty confident. I hope they're able to nail it. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. You guys can leave your thoughts down in the comments below. We are moving on to the next topic, though. The final topic, which once again talks about Elden Ring, a game I'm incredibly excited about. We have more information on it. And this headline caught my attention. It reads, Elden Ring is close to being Hidetaka Miyazaki's ideal game, but he probably won't play it. So reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, it says, From Software President Hidetaka Miyazaki has said that while Elden Ring is close to being his ideal game, he's unlikely to play it because he won't get to experience it fresh, considering he's worked on the title for a considerable amount of time. And so this was revealed through Edge magazine, specifically issue 367, and here's exactly what he had to say. You know, I probably won't end up playing Elden Ring because it's a game I've made myself. This is sort of my personal policy. You wouldn't get any of the unknowns that the fresh player is going to experience. Like I said before, it wouldn't feel like playing, but if I did, then this would be close to the ideal game I'd want. I don't approach it in terms of this is the kind of open world game I want to make. It's just that the open world enriches this ideal experience I'm trying to achieve. To give some very simple examples, if I was to explore this world, I'd want a map, a proper map, or, you know, if I saw something over there, I want to actually be able to go over and explore it. I'd want to fight with a dragon in an epic arena. Things like this. It's very simple stuff, but Elden Ring allows a lot of these things to become a reality for me, creating something that's very close to my ideal game. End quote. That's what Miyazaki had to say, and I find that pretty fascinating, but also very understandable. I have to imagine that it would feel kind of strange to play your own game. I mean, he says here that this to him seems like the ideal game, but he's also the one who created it. Therefore, he knows everything about it, every square inch, right? So it does remove that surprise factor, but that's just kind of the nature of being the creator, right? And so he's doing this so that all of us who haven't played it, who were not part of its creation, we will be able to enjoy it for the first time, and maybe to us it will feel like the ideal game we've always been waiting for. But I just thought that this was interesting. It's always interesting to hear what Miyazaki has to say. We know that most of the time he's kind of, you know, quiet, busy developing, kind of doing his own thing. And so as we're getting closer to the launch of Elden Ring, he's obviously talking more and giving more interviews. And so he's just one of those game creators that I'm always interested to hear what he has to say pretty much about anything. And, you know, this is certainly something I would expect to hear from him. So you can leave your thoughts about his comments down in the comments below. I want to know what you guys think. If you were creator of Elden Ring, the creator of Elden Ring, or a big part of its creation, would you still feel the need to play it? Would you still want to play it? Or would you already feel that you kind of did play it already because you created it? I'll be interested to see what you guys have to say. That does it for the video. Leave it a like if you enjoyed it or found it informative. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.